Hey everyone, welcome to another video here on my beauty channel. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about some new palettes that I have acquired and how I feel about them. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the Too Faced Pretty Rebel palette. And this is what the palette looks like here. Some really phenomenal colors. I actually have just added this to my favorites. I got it last month and I have been loving it, and the colors are incredible. The only one that I will have to say is this girly shade right here. It's a duochrome, like a reddish brown and then a green duochrome, and I am having a difficult time working with it, but I'm gonna keep at it and eventually I'll get it, I'm sure. But every other color, perfection. The other palette that I picked up is the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. Now I'm sure that y'all are probably sitting there going, hey Brie, didn't you already have the Naked 2 palette? I ordered my Naked 2 palette back in February from Amazon.com from this user. I'm going to put the name here. And I got it in really quick time. I was super excited. It was the very first high-end makeup purchase I had ever made, and I was so excited and then so disappointed in the palette. I've been watching different YouTube videos, tutorials for this palette, and I just kept noticing they were coming out way better and more pigmented and not quite the same shades that mine were coming out. So I started doing some investigating, and part of the investigation was two of my other palettes, my Naked palette, which I got in April, and my Smoked palette that I got on my birthday, have two of the colors from the Naked 2 palette, Half Baked and Blackout. And I swatched them on my hands from both palettes. There was considerable differences in the swatches. The Half Baked from the Naked palette, perfection, one of the best golds out there. And on my Naked 2 palette, it was a lot lighter and had a lot more shimmer in it. And then the Blackout shade from my Naked 2 palette was dark gray, like a dark charcoal gray. And the Blackout from the Smoked palette was straight up black. I'd actually watched a video that somebody had put out about products they regretted buying, and they named both the Naked and the Naked 2 palettes, and somebody in their comments said that they probably got a fake palette because they had purchased them on eBay. Well, guess what? They're on Amazon too. I had a fake palette, and that's why I wasn't getting the color payoff and all of that kind of stuff. So I went to Ulta and I got a real Naked 2 palette, and I actually swatched. I brought mine with me and I swatched them out in the car, and same thing. The colors are just so much better. I also noticed that this part right here, you see how it's real streamlined and perfectly straight and all that? On mine that I had from Amazon, you could clearly see that this was kind of cut out and it was glued on and it was kind of crooked. And then this part here on the packaging did not go down all the way. Now I have a true, real Naked 2 palette, and I actually love this just as much as my Naked palette. So happy I finally had the real thing, and no wonder why I was having so much trouble with the one that I purchased from Amazon, because it was fake. I think I have one tutorial on here using the Naked 2 palette, which of course was the fake palette. So I'm probably going to go back and refilm that with the real one. We'll delete the one with the bad palette and just leave the one with the real palette up. So be on the lookout for that. And the last palette that I wanted to talk to you about, I just purchased like 2 days ago. I went out to Ulta with my mom and saw that they had this palette, and it's a palette that I have been wanting at least since April, because I've seen so many people talk about it, and I saw that they had them because when I went to Pensacola in April to Sephora, the girl said that they were phasing this particular palette out, so they didn't get any in. and it is the Lorac Pro palette. And I was so excited. I swatched it in the store. It seemed really good. The one color that I was kind of like, was the deep purple color. But I'm like, one color out of the whole palette. Okay. And here's what the palette looks like there. Okay, one of the first things that I guess I didn't really notice in the store when I was swatching is that this color here, which is the light pink, and then these two colors right here, nude and champagne, are basically all the same shade. So you have 16 shades, but 3 of them are basically the exact same shade. I used this palette yesterday, and I used the light bronze, the gold, and the garnet, and then on my lid, and then I used taupe and sable as a crease, and then cream as my highlight. I have never been so disappointed in a palette, and except for the Naked 2 when I had the fake Naked 2. Colors really just don't come off as pigmented as you do when you swatch them. I don't actually experience a lot of fallout, which is something that when I was researching it, I heard a lot of people talk about, and I really didn't get a whole lot of fallout. The taupe and the sable colors, like, it took me a while to blend them. And then one eye was darker than the other. Of course, that's my fault, but, and then just the, like, there was no difference between the light bronze and the gold. Like, I couldn't hardly tell a difference, so it's almost like they're the same shade. The garnet color, even though it swatches really, really deep and dramatic, it looks like brown on your eyes. It does not have this beautiful kind of like red tone to it at all. So I was very disappointed in it. I kept looking at my eyes throughout the day, and the staying power is okay. Of course, I used my Too Faced Shadow Insurance as a primer. I did get just a little bit of creasing, but it wasn't anything to be real super concerned about. But then I thought, well, maybe it's just the way that I applied it, whatever. So today I did my eye look using pewter, deep purple, taupe and sable in the crease, cream as the highlight, and then I put a little bit of light bronze in my inner corner to just lighten up that inner corner. And there's like, I mean, you can definitely tell the deep purple is a little bit darker, but there is like no difference between the light bronze and the pewter. It's ridiculous. And so this is going back tomorrow. That's why I wanted to really quickly jump on here. I just got home from work. That's why I'm a hot mess. But yeah, I'm taking this back to Ulta tomorrow and getting my money back for it, because it's not worth the $42 at all. If you're gonna spend, you know, $40 or whatever on a palette, stick with your Naked palettes, the Naked 2, or even if you want something really fun with some fun colors, the Pretty Rebel palette is amazing for that. So yeah, so that's my latest experiences with some palettes that I just picked up. Let me know down in the description box what your feelings are on these palettes, whether you love them or hate them, or, you know, am I doing something wrong with the Lorac Pro palette? I don't know. You can find me on all of my social media sites down in the description box below. The links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and blog are all there for you, as well as all the links to my other channels here on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.